Devil's advocate. A person who expresses a contentious opinion in order to provoke debate or test the strength of the opposing arguments.
I'm going to take this a step even further. Watch this. So the quote is that white privilege is saying that black people destroy neighborhoods while forgetting that white people have destroyed continents. First of all, what neighborhoods are we talking about? Are we talking about the fact that in the 1980s and 1990s, crime was statistically higher in black and brown neighborhoods? Sounds like we're talking about the emergent ghettos of the 1980s. Well, how did we get to the emergent ghettos? We got there because post-slavery there was segregation. They got pushed into the emergent ghettos, and then obviously we know the history of vagrancy statutes, the black codes, which made it illegal for black people to be unemployed, but at the same time it was not possible for them to be employed. We know the history of redlining in the United States, which made it impossible for black people to own properties. So with no prospect for survival, this led to what? It led to black and brown communities having to turn to crime for survival. Then the war on drugs, Reagan's war on drugs, the Anti-Drug Abuse Act of the 1980s. What did that do? That meant that everyone who was turning to crime for survival was prosecuted and put in prison for life, and then begins the period in US history of mass incarceration. What happened after that? What happened after that is that the children of the mass incarcerated were left without at least one parent, and another parent who had to work 3 jobs to compensate for the lack of the other parent, which meant that the child had no parents. What did that lead to? The epigenetic transference of transgenerational trauma from one generation to the next to the next. Meanwhile, all of these neighborhoods and communities were totally disenfranchised because of these racist laws. So who was responsible for all of this? Well, the slavers. Who were the slavers? They were the colonists. So when you think about it like that, the same people who destroyed continents are the same people who caused the destruction of those communities in the United States. See, when you trace it back, corruption, greed, and power are the root of all evil.
Now, if I'm to play devil's advocate, would it be fair to say that the so-called black American man and woman deserve to be racist? Would it be fair to say that, just playing devil's advocate here, not promoting anything, but would it be fair if what you put out, you get in return? It's like a boomerang. Would it be fair to say that the so-called black American man and woman should do the exact same thing that was done to them? Would that be fair? Or should they just take it and roll with the flow? What's fair? Should they be given reparations? Or should they do exactly what was done to them? What do you see fit?
A devil's advocate. A person who expresses a contentious opinion in order to provoke debate or test the strength of the opposing argument.